Now, speaking of making a possible presidential run, Senator Kamala Harris, she just signed a new book deal. She's spending more money on Facebook ads than any other senator, and she's raising money for her fellow senators. KPIX5's Phil Mateer and Melissa Caen asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown if this is the start of her campaign.
I think this is a positioning of Kamala Harris appropriately. In this day and age, unless you have your own resources like Donald Trump or some of the other people who've sought the presidency, you really do have to do all of this preliminary work. And you have to do it where there's a demonstration of sincerity in somebody else's issue. And that's what she's doing.
In other words, you have to start doing favors for other people, get your name
well,
up
you
there.
call it favors. You show an interest in their careers.
Favors. But here's the thing. She does seem to be a team player. So if the Democratic Party, for example, said, no, let's use Joe Biden, let's go with Elizabeth Warren, I don't necessarily think she would mount a challenge like a Bernie Sanders did with Hillary Clinton, sort of against the party's
That's a good
wishes.
point. There is a soft entrance and a hard entrance. Bernie was a hard entrance. He went up against Hillary and said, it's no prisoners, only one of us is going to walk out of here.
Okay, but he knew that he had no possibility of being on the inside because, after all, he's not a Democrat.
Okay, so Kamala Harris and her team look at this and they go, all right, you run for president soft, right? In other words, you get out there. And maybe you even announce it. You wind up with VP or Attorney General. Is that how it works sometimes on this?
Well, Kamala is interested in elective office, I believe. She's had all of the business of being all the things you talked about. I think she would really like to be president. And I believe that she's going to be continuously focused on that goal. However, you are correct. If she concluded that there's a greater possibility of, let's say, Melissa Caen getting the nomination to beat Trump, she'd be there.
But until,
I like the sound of that.
But until that time, she is going to be revving the machine, if nothing else, to hold place.
She is the #1 desired upon national Democrat in every state in this union by the Democratic Party. Everybody is asking her, please come visit with us. Please speak at the appropriate dinners that you give. Please come for the appropriate occasion. And she's being very, very judicious. I'm glad to see that she's not submitting herself for overexposure to the talking heads on Sunday mornings.
Not yet.
Well, but also I just want to add, I mean, so here's the thing. Even if she didn't get the presidency or sort of the nomination for the presidency, I'm not sure a Bay Area Democrat is going to be the right person for the party, or should they be looking?
That is a subject we will take up later. We are all out of time. Back to you guys.
Oh, that lead up to 2020 is going to be intense.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably have to wait until after the midterm elections to really see who the field of candidates truly is going to be. And I think until we get those names, we're not really going to know what the chances are for 2020.
Phil Mateer and Melissa Caen asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown about Cohen taping his client Donald Trump and the ethics behind that decision.
Are you kidding me? I believe that he was trying to protect himself, just in case. He knew exactly what he was dealing with, period.
Well, and you know, a lot of people don't realize it, but lawyers are supposed to be ethical. There are ethical rules, even in New York, that say you're not supposed to lie or mislead your client. And so he could get a little slap on the wrist for this, although I don't think it would be bad enough to disbar him for something like that.
I don't think he was misleading his client. I think he was recording his client. They may have had in mind a whole series, and this was just one of the episodes.
Well, I mean, you could argue it's a lie of omission to not disclose that to your client.
But it is interesting that this story, we have a story about a lawyer taping his client, who is now the President of the United States, discussing a payoff to a Playboy model for her quote-unquote story.
No, they were buying the story from the news organization
The Inquirer.
that had bought it from the lady.
Okay, one link in there. But the point being, it doesn't seem to ruffle anybody's feathers.
It wasn't even the top story. It was like the
That's how far
biggest
it's
story.
come.
I mean, imagine if this had happened during the Obama administration. What an insane mess this would be.
Why would this be a first-line story when there's so many other things about this administration that surpasses this? This is just a dispute between Michael and Donald and the people who want the dough and who got the dough. Nobody else. None of the rest of us
Well,
are
except for
involved at all.
it's leaked to CNN News. It's all part of.
That was a promotion, Phil. That wasn't a leak. What are you talking about? So I have more. I have more.
It can be both. and look, while the president has said that this is illegal and he's going to go after Michael Cohen for it, the truth is, as long as the president made that phone call from New York or any of the other 30 states with single-party consent, it was probably legal.
So, Mary,
But
you don't
keep in
see
mind-
this at all as a possible legal move. You see this all as a setup for some entertainment show?
Be very, very clear. Donald Trump knew that he needed to silence that story in the midst of the campaign. And that's what he was attempting to do. Totally and completely legal, I suspect, but two thieves working together.
You know, the developments in this case really just kind of come out rapid fire, and I think the really interesting thing will be, you know, in the discussion this week was who leaked what, because there was allegations that each side was leaking things that they thought would be somehow advantageous to them, and it's all out there.
Yeah, it is, but it is hard to follow. You're talking porn stars and tabloids and, oof.